Hello and welcome, Desert Mountain members, to another edition of the Desert Mountain Podcast. Welcome. My name is Michael Craven. I'm here joined by Kim Atkinson. Hi, Kim.
Hello, Michael.
We find ourselves back in the studio this week.
The original podcast room, if you will.
Not on the road.
No, we're not on the road, and there's a very special reason for that, because a lot of very important decisions are made in this very room.
Very true.
And with that, I will introduce the talented, amazing CFO, Andrea Randall.
Andrea.
Very nice, Kim.
Welcome.
Great to be here. Great to be here. Thank you, Michael.
Quite the welcome for our podcast. So thank you for taking time out of your very busy day to sit down with us and meet with our members today in this format. It's still relatively new, the last couple of months. I think this is
This will be 17.
Number 17.
If you can believe that or not.
Oh, it's going fast.
It's going fast.
Added quite a few.
So this is perfect. So first, I do want to ask you a couple of questions to welcome you again and just remind us, you've been here at Desert Mountain now, I think about 4.5 years.
It'll be 5 years in April.
5 years
Wow.
in April. Goodness gracious.
Gone fast. Very fast.
A few things have happened.
Just a few. Never a dull moment. Never.
And you joined us from?
I came from Tucson, Arizona, the lodge at Ventana Canyon Golf and Racquet Club.
So you had the private club experience with them, and you came with Damon, I understand it, right?
Absolutely. I was Damon's first hire.
Wow.
First official hire.
Fantastic.
Several more to come, but first one.
That's right.
Cool.
And so let's go back a little bit. So I know you had a rough weekend last weekend. I'm really sorry about the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm a Kansas girl. I call Kansas City home, and yes, it was a rough Sunday, but you know, we got to give it someone else's turn this year.
Take a turn, absolutely. So how long were you in Kansas City? What brought you to Arizona in the first place?
I lived in Kansas City since a teenager, so Kansas City became home. I met my husband there. He was born and raised in Olathe, Kansas, and he actually moved our family to Tucson with a new job opportunity, and that was back in 2006, so well over 15 years. Or about 15 years, actually.
Yep.
So, but it was great. We love Tucson. We been raising 3 little boys in Tucson, and now they're teenagers and heading to college. And it was had a great time there, but have been enjoying Scottsdale. So the opportunity came up. Desert Mountain needed a new CFO, and the rest was history.
That's
Kim, I
fantastic.
actually met Andrea in Tucson.
There is a fun fact that I want to share with our membership. Leave it to an amazing CFO to also help recruit our outstanding content team with the Craven Boys.
I'm forever indebted.
This
Thank
is
you very
amazing.
much.
Absolutely. I say it's one of my best contributions here at Desert Mountain, bringing the Craven Boys and eventually now these podcasts.
That's too much, but thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for getting us up here. And, we both had a nice time at Ventana Canyon, and now we're having a really nice time at Desert Mountain Club.
No, I'm so glad you guys are here. You bring so much fun and life to all of our members, our employees. It's awesome.
Thank you, Andrea. I appreciate that.
Pretty great. Well, lots of history and things that have happened over the course of these 5 years, and starting out and investing in our brand and doing a lot of new and innovative outbound marketing tactics and strategies that you've been a part of and at the table and working with all of our teams over the years. And now, of course, coming off of a podcast last week with Nicole, our members learned how our membership demand has changed and increased over the years, and things have shifted tremendously. So it's been quite a ride. A lot of things have changed.
Absolutely. A lot has happened. We've accomplished a lot in 5 years, and of course we have more to accomplish. But we are coming off of what we thought. We thought 2020, the year of COVID with a lot of unknowns, was a record-breaking financial year, but 2021 was even bigger. So we're just closing up the books, and last year with the strong golf sales, more than 200 new golfers welcomed to Desert Mountain. Our operating income was exceeded $18 million last year, which was $4 million higher than the prior year. So revenue growth was about 16% year over year. So a great year. we definitely needed the funds. We have a lot of capital projects ahead of us, and so we're just continuing to set aside the incremental revenues to fund future improvements for the membership.
That's exciting. And I know, with those statements that we are blessed to be able to make, we update our members at Easy Listening as an example every month, and we give a quick snapshot of our financials and where we stand each month. And then that also comes with additional questions that we often receive. So when we're able to present these results, what are some of the questions that come into your inbox, or when someone raises a hand at an Easy Listening that you receive most often?
Sure. A big question we get, especially with us having such great success financially, the question always becomes, well, if we're doing so well financially and well ahead of plan, why do we need another dues increase? And it's a great question, and I understand why many of our members ask this question, but we've got a lot ahead of us to accomplish. Specifically, we have a capital plan. We look at our capital, not just 5 years, but we look at it out 15 years. And portion of these dues are set aside to be able to reinvest in the facility. So in addition to, ongoing inflation that everyone's experiencing, labor rates are rising, other supplies are increasing, cost of sales for food and beverage, on the rise. We take a portion of that dues increase to make sure we can still fund improvements to the facilities and improve the amenities that we offer. So the dues cover a lot more than just regular operating expenses. They also cover capital investment wherever we have the extra funds.
We saw it already with the Renegade Clubhouse project. I mean, nobody really expected the costs to go up that much in such a short period of time, and luckily you were prepared for it. But
absolutely,
I'm sure that could continue to happen, and you've got to be prepared for the worst, right?
We do. We always have to plan and be prepared for what's not ahead of us, what's not just 12 months out, but 5 years, 10 years. And it requires a lot of a balancing act between, we have a lot of priorities. There's never, unfortunately, there's never enough money to meet all of the needs. So we do prioritize quite a bit, and we're very fortunate that we've had these record-breaking financial years because we're able to now just take those extra funds and pay for the added increases at the Renegade Clubhouse. And I'm sure, as you said, Michael, there'll be other projects that are going to be higher than we expected.
Definitely. So now that we're into 2022, we had this tremendous success in terms of membership sales in 2021. What are we looking at in terms of our revenues in the coming year? We definitely are looking to preserve the experience and maximize the member experience to the best of our ability as it relates to tea times and dining and all of the events that we offer to our members. We're coming up with new ways to create opportunities within our bandwidth. How are we managing that from a initiation fee, for example, which we have looked to in past years to help fund our needs?
Great question, Kim. Last year's $18 million in operating income that we delivered, $13 million was initiation fee revenue.
Wow.
And that was, again, another record, as I mentioned earlier. This year, we're not planning for that same level of initiation fees. However, it is important to still bring in new members. But as we've talked, and Nicole talked last week, is we want to minimize any further growth in the membership because we want to preserve capacity available to all of our members, when they desire to use the club. So this year's revenues that we're budgeting are fairly flat with where we finished last year. The initiation fee revenue and the number of new golfers is down significantly. More back to the 125 new golfers every year. If we don't see resignations pick up, we may not bring in 125 new golfers this year, which then means a little bit less in initiation fee revenue. So we'll have to, take a look at how the financials are going each month, how the, revenue growth, the new number of members each month are coming in and make decisions on a month-to-month basis. But we are very focused on preserving capacity, limiting any further growth in the count, and just bringing in new members as existing members are ready to leave the club. And
so funding some of those initiatives, you have members all around the management table that we meet with every Monday with wish lists and ideas and strategies that we want to implement. And this week, we've been rolling out, every clubhouse is getting a new supply of golf carts. So that's just one out of, I can't imagine the spreadsheets, right, that you go through that contains all these wish lists. How do you prioritize some of the needs that our leaders bring to the table during the budgeting process, and work with each of us to get the most out of every dollar and make an impact for our existing members?
It's a daily effort, and you're right. There are way more needs. However, we take a look at what is it our members' needs, as well as at the same time as our teammates, because we want to make sure we're investing in both appropriately. But there are often times a project came up this week in the senior leadership that, it came in over budget, and, we're now talking about the fact that this project is probably not absolutely necessary in light of all of the other projects, and we may put it on hold until we get through a few more months in the year. So it's really not necessarily not doing some things, but it may be, delaying a project for a short period of time. At the end of the day, we still want to invest in the membership. We want to bring new and exciting amenities, every year to our members, and at the same time ensure that we're investing in our employees. So it's definitely a lot of prioritization. That's why a long-term plan is helpful, because if all we were doing was planning for this year, we may spend too much, and then the projects we want to accomplish in 3 or 4 years, there may not be cash available. The good news is our cash position is very strong right now. We've got $45 million in the bank. Of course, $30 million is committed to the big projects that are kicking off right now, and obviously Renegade Clubhouse right around the corner. But we are building our cash, and we're making sure we set aside funds, not just for the next 12 months, but next 5 to 10 years.
Did you know what you were getting into when you came here? Because I personally cannot imagine having the amount of, people coming to you and asking for money, I guess, basically to kind of get these projects done. 7 clubhouses, the amount of staff that are here, the amount of membership. There's really nothing else like it. So, did you was it a surprise? Did you know what you were getting yourself into?
I knew Desert Mountain was bigger. I was coming from a club that had, 2 beautiful 18 holes to a club that's now 7. So I knew it was bigger. I've always felt like what we did, at the club I came from was the same type of activity and responsibility as here at Desert Mountain. It was just bigger. I was surprised because there's so much more going on. When I arrived, we were in the middle of trying to finish the sale of Parcel 19. That's not something every club has to deal with. And from then on, we've been focused on improving the membership program and offering. So absolutely, I had no idea, but it's been such a great time. And I love a good challenge, and there's always a good challenge here at Desert Mountain.
Yeah, you had to deal with the pandemic, and then we had to deal with the everything that came after that. And now, like you talked about, the inflation. So I think there's been a theme, Kim. We talked to Todd Bone. He's had a roller coaster since he arrived, and everybody just kind of pushes through, and we've got a great team that can handle all these situations that arise.
And it sounds really cliche, but we have really been in this together, and that has been our steadfast, solid. We've been there to be one and have each other's backs and support one another, and that's really the best way to put it, I think.
Sorry, just to add to that, you guys were talking even before we came on the podcast that there was a lot of groundwork that had been laid that had prepared, us for the challenges that came up from a branding perspective, and we were in good shape.
Absolutely. And when we started a lot of the groundwork, we had a lot to accomplish ahead of us. So, the club was still seeing a decline in membership. I don't think the club had fully recovered from the Great Recession that was lasting much longer than desired. So we took some risk, I guess is what I'm trying to say, in that we invested in Kim and team and marketing, and that risk is paying off, which says a lot. That it's you don't want to be too cautious. You want to take a little bit of risk. Even when the pandemic hit, we made the decision as a team that we did not want to lay anyone off. We had no idea how much revenue we may lose, and we lost several million in a 6-week time frame. But we took the risk. We wanted to invest in our employees. And again, it paid off because, now, many other businesses, clubs, hotels are struggling to hire people, but we can tell the story that, our people, they're our greatest asset, and we invested in them, retained them. And that was a bit of a risk. And so it's a balance. I mean, you want to be conservative, but you also want to make thoughtful decisions that aren't all about the short term. They're about the long term as well.
So back to the pandemic, the members were very much a part of that support circle that we were with them and them with us, and having their support in terms of purchasing takeout meals to keep our employees working. That was incredible.
That was absolutely incredible. And, they raised money to provide meals as well as to provide a small bonus to each employee. And, the employees were so thankful and appreciative. The investment that they made in our employees went so much bigger than anyone ever expected. And we can't underestimate how important and valuable that was for this experience and for our employees to stay here and still be here to help serve our members. I think that's why many employees stay in this industry. Is it's not about just showing up for a job every day, but it's about the relationships, the people they meet, the support they receive, not just from their coworkers, but the individuals they serve every day. That's why I've stayed in hospitality. I love the people side of this business, both from those that I work with as well as the members that I work for and get to meet. Not as much as others, but I enjoy meeting the members when I can.
That's so great. And it's so true with having that support. Damon, when we were in the thick of pandemic times, having his trust and his leadership to guide us through that with, look, we're staying open for our members. They golf is the safest sport that you can play. Tennis is I think tennis was the number one activity for a couple of months in terms of safely enjoying life during the pandemic. So never closing really created that opportunity for us to never have to really climb our way out. And with our members supporting us along the way, I think it really did pave the way for where we are today. We're not still fighting our way out. We're doing so well, and we're so grateful for our members for that.
No, you are so right, Kim. I mean, we could have easily shut down, been extremely cautious, and in the end, it would have taken a lot longer to climb back out. But because we, again, took a balanced approach, sure, we made some smart decisions, and there were certain areas of the club that had to shut down a little bit longer. I know Sonoran had a couple of times where they shut down. We were able to keep outdoor activities available. And that was huge to making sure we didn't have a lot longer recovery.
And just a shout out to the members. I mean, it really was a team effort as that was going on. And just not only, like you mentioned, the employee meals and the money that went into bonuses and things like that. It was like every night I would go to a clubhouse, and it was an endless stream of cars picking up to-go food. Keeping that revenue stream going, even though they weren't able to do indoor dining. And it was awesome to see everybody pull together during that.
It really was. The pandemic's been difficult for many people in many, many ways these last 2 years, but we have to remember those moments of how people did pull together, support each other, to help us all get through it.
So now, fast forward, we're in a wait list.
We
have people knocking on the door trying to get a piece of it.
That was quick.
Trying to become a part of it. And so having a wait list in effect, I don't think we saw this coming when we first started this endeavor.
I think Mr. Diorio saw it coming.
He maybe did.
He was looking big. Yeah, I remember when, I think in a meeting he said, we're going to have a wait list someday. And I thought, we're a club of over 2,000 members. There's no way we're going to have a wait list. And here we are.
Sure
we have
enough.
A wait list. Yeah.
That's fantastic. So that means, so in clarifying too, what that means for somebody who is looking to be part of Desert Mountain, they can still purchase a home at 7 Desert Mountain, for example, go through the membership application process. And once approved, they would still have that membership available to them.
That's correct. We have reserved and set aside memberships for the 7 community. We have to. They're deed restricted. And so, yes, they will jump ahead of any wait list once they close on their home.
Right. And then on the other folks who maybe are not purchasing there, Nicole had detailed the best way for a prospective member to join the club is through a real estate transaction.
Absolutely. If the more that we can couple memberships with the sale of the home, the better for the incoming member, because they're able to join the club right away and won't have to wait. You know, the wait list right now we're early on, so we're not sure how long that wait will look. So we're very much encouraging home sellers to sell the membership with the home. That way the new member or new homeowner to Desert Mountain can enjoy the club much quicker.
And so the revenue from those initiation fees are part of what we'll be looking for in terms of our bottom line for 22.
Yes, absolutely. We, many years ago, shortly after turnover, most of the transactions were real estate related. So the membership was selling with the home more often than not. Over the years, that's sort of been separated. So we are very focused on educating the real estate community to go back to transferring the membership with the sale of the home. That will ensure the club continues to bring in initiation fee revenue, which is critical to our future capital investments.
So capital, you have a meeting this week with our senior team on the capital plan this Thursday. And so what do you expect to hear from our senior leaders in terms of looking at that? What will be some of the highlights from that meeting and questions that you will be answering?
Sure. Yes. So we try to meet with the team, several times a year to go over the capital projects that are in the works. They want to kick off soon. Our big focus for this week's meeting is to prioritize. I mean, we do have a significant number of capital projects that we would like to complete this year. However, we want to make sure we've got enough funds for the high priority. So we'll be talking mostly about which projects could wait till summer before they're kicked off versus which ones, we absolutely have to do because it's a major maintenance, aging piece of equipment that has to be replaced, or it's a high priority initiative. Obviously we're committed to the new Renegade Range, the clubhouse, we're finishing the centralized distribution center, and there's a few other projects that, we want to continue to proceed with, but it will just be more about prioritizing. And there may be a few things that we decide to hold off on, just to ensure that we get a little bit farther into the year to ensure we're financially tracking as close to our plan as possible.
And so with the capital plan and the long-range facilities plan that we update our members on regularly, one of the things I know Damon likes to reinforce with that, we just had a coffee talk last week where we took members through a tour of the Cochise Geronimo back of the house so they could see how it functions and maybe doesn't function in certain ways. What is one of the best ways for members to be heard and to be part of that planning process? Because we're building it for our members, right?
Absolutely, we are. The best way is when we kick off these focus groups in the coming weeks, to attend the sessions, to be a part of the focus groups, to attend these coffee talks. I mean, we heard from several members last week on, some initiatives they'd like us to consider sooner rather than later. So the more involved you can get when you see us, having certain meetings, focus groups, that's where we need to hear you loud and clear, because that's where we'll obtain some feedback, make some adjustments, and at the end of the day, try to create a plan that meets something for everyone. It won't be everything for everyone, but hopefully something.
That's so true. We have such a diverse membership with a lot of wish lists and priorities across the board. So how we do that factors in. And when you receive these invitations to come to these meetings, maybe complete a survey, give us your feedback and share that with us so that we can make informed decisions. And then we'll be presenting them ultimately, right? We'll get together again. We'll have some more coffee talk presentations where we'll present, here's what we've learned from you and what we recommend with our architectural partners moving forward and take it from there.
Yes, we will. And we've already we've been doing these CG tours for a couple of years now, I believe,
so.
and have already gathered, quite a bit of feedback. You did a big survey was that pre-COVID, a big survey where we
Yep.
already saw some feedback on some of the new amenities members would like to see, and we're working on a few of those projects right now.
No shortage of opportunities to share your thoughts with us and get involved. So
No shortage.
You know, I just want to say quickly that in the 4.5 years now that we've been here, 5 years now, I guess all of us have been here around that same amount of time. We're never not building. We're never not growing. Is that rare in this industry from your experience to just be constantly improving?
Well, I think Desert Mountain, thankfully, has the resources
Yeah.
to always be improving, and that's huge, and that is rare
Yeah.
for a lot of different clubs, and so we are very blessed with the resources to continue to improve. But it's also, you're right, I mean, it's a mindset. You know, if you're not thinking about bigger and better, you're probably slowly going backwards. And, you know, we've got, with Damon's leadership and the board's leadership, we're always trying to do something that's even bigger and better. We're not satisfied, I guess was what I would say. Damon's got a lot of irons in the fire.
he does. He's a doer and a driver, and the next big idea is right around the corner. But finishing things and having those successes along the way has just been awesome to be a part of.
Sure has, really has.
If I'm a member, I'm very excited about the future and the things that are coming up.
I agree. It is a great place to be. This is Desert Mountain is an amazing facility, amazing community, and there's so much greater ahead for every member here.
And so looking at the operation in general, you have an entire turf program to support, an entire Sonoran facility to support. The Sonoran is a club within a club, right?
It
With
is.
so many different areas to support. What would you say in terms of on the turf side, back to that, are you receiving a lot of recommendations from Todd as kind of our new leader, been here about 6 months now, where we're investing in some different strategies on the turf side?
We absolutely are. Todd is bringing new and fresh eyes to, what we need to be focused on here for each of the 7 courses. We also just completed a capital reserve study where we were able to inspect every golf course facility, and we've got all of that information in a database now that has enlightened us in terms of how much more we need to be investing in terms of just regular major maintenance each year in the golf courses. So we'll in addition to our major renovations for each of the courses over the next 10 years, we're also investing more in each course to make sure that Todd and team have the resources they need to do their job so much more effectively. So Todd is bringing a whole new perspective. He's very focused on the science part of golf, and we're focused on providing him with the resources and the funding he needs to provide a premier golf experience. It will take time, but every day he's making improvement.
Todd is awesome.
That is really good to hear. I think the golfers love to hear that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good.
So, Andrea, what would be the best way if a member was looking for the results of 21 at a glance? What would be a good one-stop shop for them to review and get up to speed?
Yes. So we're working on finalizing the year-end statements. So once the audit is complete, which we're days away from, we will put together the year-end financial statements. And then along with your team, Kim, we will finalize the annual report, which provides, a lot more information about the financials and how each operation's performed and some fun facts from every area of the club. But we want to make sure we are on a regular basis, very transparent with the memberships about our financials. And so not only will we just do the annual report, which will be ready for us in early April, late March, we will continue to communicate financial results every quarter, and then hopefully get out and do some more coffee talks and share the details of our financial plan here in the coming months.
Absolutely. And so whenever you do those wonderful roll-ups by quarter, we put them through the Mountain Minute and we post it to the member website. So there's always material for our members to reference if they ever have any questions.
Yes, always. And I'm just a phone call or visit away. So my door is open, and I always want to make sure I'm answering our membership's questions and that they have the real facts about how we're performing financially.
Ooh, I appreciate that. That's good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrea.
Should we
Thank
have
you.
Andrea help us do some shout outs?
We got to do the shout outs at the end of the show.
All right, let's do the shout outs.
We've had, I feel, a very long list of amazing golfers
They're-
this week to celebrate.
They're playing well out there, very well.
I don't know how they do it.
I think we have like 8 or 9 to get through today, so I'll try to go quick, but also very well, very much deserved recognition here. All right, starting it out, Catherine Heiser, last Tuesday, the 25th of January, an Eagle on Renegade number 7.
Love it.
Congratulations there.
Awesome.
Jeff Johnson, last Wednesday, January 26th, he had a hole-in-one on Cochise number 2.
Number 2.
That's a way to start your round. Second hole,
No kidding.
ace. We had Bob Doro, which was last Thursday, January 27th, Eagle on Cochise number 6. Congratulations.
Fantastic.
This was a name we had last week, and now we get it again. So
What? 2
Jan,
weeks in a row?
2 weeks in a row, Jan Buth, last Thursday, hole-in-one on Renegade number 12.
Wow, that is amazing.
That is amazing. I think that's the first time I've seen that.
Yeah.
Janice Cooper, last Thursday, an Eagle on Geronimo number 15.
A lot of ladies in this one.
Yeah,
this
I love
week.
it.
So
Maybe they can
good.
give me some lessons.
No doubt.
And a big day on Thursday. 3 of them on Thursday last week. Friday, we had Marianne Semino. That was an Eagle at Apache number 1. That was her first Eagle ever.
And starting off the round with a ace.
Beautiful.
So good.
We had Kathleen Benoit. That was
Oh, that's great.
Congratulations.
that was over the weekend, Saturday the 29th of January. Eagle on 15 Cochise.
Very fun.
A couple more.
Okay.
Marilyn Moore, Sunday, January 30th, hole-in-one on number 14 at 7. That was her first ace.
Wow, it's great.
Good for her. But I feel like she's had some great shots.
I believe so. Maybe Eagles.
Maybe.
Yeah. And then finally, Mark Stern, Sunday, January 30th, 2 Eagles in the same round while
Wow,
playing
what a
Renegade,
round.
number 7 and number 17. Congratulations, Mr. Stern.
Ooh, Mr.
All right.
Stern. Good stuff.
Well, this has been great because last week we had Nicole and she outlined everything membership, and now thank you so much, Andrea, for outlining everything financial for us.
That's right.
It was a great segue, I think.
It was. Our financial results are in large part due to the sales team, our amazing sales team,
Fantastic.
and our amazing marketing team, as
Wow.
well as our amazing Craven team. You guys are all, you're a great contributor to all of our success this year.
It's wonderful to be a part of it, and we just are so lucky to call Desert Mountain home.
We are. We
Agreed.
are.
Very blessed. So.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you,
Thank you.
members. We will see you around the mountain.
Thank you, Andrea Randall.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Thank you, members.
See you next week, everybody.